What's up, guys? So today we are going to be making a Dear Santa tray. This is like for the cookies and the milk that you can lay out for Santa. And I've got this wonderful free SVG file that I've designed for you guys, and you can go ahead and grab that over at my blog. So I'll have the link in the description down below for you to grab. And I just want to show you really quickly how we're going to kind of play around with it a little bit in Cricut Design Space, and then how we're going to assemble this all together. Okay? So grab that file if you haven't already and load it into Cricut Design Space, and you'll notice it has all these different layers here. Okay, I've designed this to go on a charger plate. So if you are putting it on a charger plate like I will be, then everything is already sized for you. We need to do minimal work to clean it up and get it cut. If you are putting this on a tray, so if you're putting it on a cutting board, or I've seen people put it on placemats, then you may want to rearrange some of the components to fit your placemat. So you can go ahead and do that. They're already sort of grouped in a way. So this one says like Dear Santa, and this is the love part here. So the easiest way to do that is if you are putting it on something that is not the charger plate that I will be doing, I would grab your square tool here, and I would size this to the size of your placemat. So you're gonna have to measure your placemat, and let's say it's like that size there, right? And then you're gonna want to drag this to the bottom. You can send it to the back, so I'm gonna hide that. And then you can use that as your template, right? So you can see how you're gonna lay it out. And then you can slowly move around the components. So you would have to ungroup this, okay? And then you're going to move the components around, arranging them how you'd like it for your tray or your placemat. Once you've done that, then you can follow the rest of the steps I'm about to do. But that's just so you know how you can rearrange this if you are doing something that is not a charger plate. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that, and then what I'm going to do is add a name down here. Okay, so I'm going to say Love Olivia. That's my daughter, and I'm going to put that down there, and we want to play with the font a little bit. So the one I think I'm going to use for this, I really do like Salty Ocean. I know I used it in a different video, but I really do like this font. So I'm going to probably do that. I'm going to adjust the letter spacing because Cricut Design Space always leaves a nasty little space in between letters. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to rotate this and shrink this down a little bit. And if you have more names, like if you've got more kids, feel free to add names to that, but I'm going to put Love Olivia. I'm going to leave that there. Awesome. And then I'm going to weld this. So whenever we have fonts like this, sorry, I'm actually going to ungroup this, move the O over just because I'm not happy with how close that is to the rest of the name here. I'm going to move that. All right, awesome. So what you want to do is you want to weld the word so that it becomes one piece rather than it trying to cut out each letter individually. Okay, now I'm going to recenter that now. Awesome. And then one final thing we need to do before we go to cut this out is to attach everything. And what attach does is that it tells Cricut that you don't want things to move. Okay, so right now if I was to go to make it, it's going to try to just rearrange things in a way that's going to save the most vinyl. So it's gonna, it's not going to look like this. It's going to have the components scattered all over, which is not what we want. We want things cut out exactly as it's laid out here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and then we are going to go to make it. And perfect, it should be laid out exactly as how we like it, as how we designed it. So I will be using permanent vinyl for this project. So I do not need to mirror it because I'm using permanent vinyl. But if you are putting this on a placemat, you might be using heat transfer vinyl, in which case you will want to mirror your image. So don't forget to do that if you are using heat transfer vinyl, okay? But if you are using permanent vinyl, then you do not need to worry about that at all. Okay, so go ahead and hit continue, and we are going to cut it out, and I will show you all my little tricks to how we can put this on the charger plate and get it all set up. All right, so we have cut our design out on our Cricut. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a technique called reverse weeding, okay? Normally we would, you know, take our weeding tool and we would just start weeding all the negative space on this design. But because this design has a lot of little letters and little pieces to it, we're going to do reverse weeding, okay? Now reverse weeding is great when you need to, when you have all these like finer pieces, because you're gonna stick it on here, so it's gonna be on a sticky surface already, and then you can slowly remove it. Where right now, this is not as sticky because it's stuck to this backing here, so these letters come off a lot easier, okay? So to reverse weed, all we need to do is take our transfer tape. Before we do that, I'm gonna just tape this down because my surface is a little curved right now. Because I had cut out a sheet that was on a roll, so it's not as flat. Okay, and then we're going to remove the backing on our transfer tape. I'm just going to make sure that gets adhered very well, okay? So, just going to go over that a little bit to make sure that all sticks. Alright, and then you're going to remove the backing. And now we are going to weed. And then start cutting some of the bigger pieces off. It just makes everything a little bit more manageable to work with. Yeah, I'm gonna weed that out, alright? So I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so I have finished weeding my design, and I'm gonna warn you guys right now, this is not really a beginner project, okay? There's a lot of very fine things in this design that can go wrong, like all of these little commas and apostrophes. It can be very difficult to weed, so you need to take your time with it. You need to be patient, and it is very possible you will screw up, and that is okay. Just do it again. You'll be fine. Just take your time, okay? Now, what I've done is I've stuck this to a piece of parchment paper, okay? Parchment paper is great because it doesn't really stick. Like it sticks enough that like it won't like move around, but it doesn't stick in the sense where like transfer tape or any other medium that it's gonna really stick and then you're gonna lose all your letters. So this is perfect for when you're also layering designs, which I will not go over today, but I will show you why I'm doing this, okay? I am doing this because I want to be able to center my design, okay? I want to center my design so I can see exactly what it looks like on my plate, and make sure I'm happy with that placement before I place it, okay? Now, the best way to place this down, after you are now happy with it, is to get a little corner. I'm just going to fold that over. I'm going to move it around until I'm happy. I'm going to say, yeah, that looks good there. And I'm going to put that down. And then I'm going to remove the backing. Awesome. I'm gonna go over it with my roller. Sweet. And now I'm gonna carefully peel this off. And you see if that starts happening right there where the letter starts lifting. I'm just gonna place it back down. You're gonna go over it again. And it helps if you peel this off at an angle. And there we go. That's it, guys. Look how nice this came out. Yay! Alright, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.